hope that you are doing you're having an amazing day. And it's a beautiful Wednesday. I just want to come on here and talk about a little bit about what I keep seeing. I made a post this morning, um, strategically about that content most of the time has a problem succeeding because normally you have nothing real to say. And that's when it becomes a real issue. But it goes deeper than that, okay? It goes into how to build an audience. How do you build an audience when people have the attention span of the brain size of a squirrel? Okay? How do you do that? Very simple. Just start making some really, really big decisions in your content. And I think what it is right now is that people want the mess because when you're willing to share the things that have either broken you or they've tried to break you, um, I feel as if those moments are the most relatable because it takes a really brave and courageous person to be so open and honest about what you've been through in order to bring peace, healing, revelation to people. And I think like the biggest things for a lot of people right now is like the audience that you want to build has a lot to do with what you're putting out there. Prime example of this: if you are on LinkedIn and you say build an audience around AI, you're going to get a lot of people that are interested in AI. Okay, like AI insights. You're going to get a lot of people that are uh trying to write their own content with AI, how to use AI to increase their productivity, or they're going to be using AI to do more editing for either a podcast, or they're going to be doing it more for short form, reels and clips and stuff like that. So if you want to do it around that, do it around that. Then if you want to build, hey, you want to build a really strong base with a lot of people that are very interested in what you have to say, then I would definitely, I know a lot of my content is very, very forward on thought leadership. So build out content like that. And that just comes from trusting your intuition and how to write things. Like the first thing I would say is, build your audience and build out your content as if you're going to say it. Okay. So if you go and study my content, a lot of it is actually how I would say it to you as if you were sitting face to face with me and just having a simple conversation. Um, and I think that's why it does so well is because it's raw, real, authentic, and it's relatable. It's what people think, and being able to be a person that shares in our relatability and what makes us human beings is really important, especially right now. If you want to build out content that is more on the side of tech, finance, IT, infrastructure, then talk about what's going on politically. Talk about what are some concerns that you have for the future, and where you've seen things go right and things go wrong, and a lot of times like you'll find your own audience to be um, you'll find a lot of your audience is going to be really, really big into what you actually think, because essentially what it is, it's like your ability to relate well and lead well has a lot to do with what you're going to write. I think a lot of the times that I look at my own content, I'm always shocked at half the stuff that I come up with because, oh, honestly, on a whim, I I just take whatever I'm writing, or I take whatever I think of or what I'm feeling that day, and I make a lot of content out of it. I write a lot of content through my experiences as an adult, transitioning from the young adult to the leader that I think I've become now. And I think a lot of times that I look at content as an opportunity, not only just to share my ideas, but as an opportunity to lead well from the generations that are not putting stuff out there, or they're trying to gatekeep. And I think that's, honestly, we have a very big problem with that, honestly, because it comes from a lot of insecurity. But, you know, people are so afraid to put what has, challenged them on the internet. It's like, dude, we're all human beings. We all go through stuff. and we have golden opportunities to steward well with what we have, like resources, like a MacBook, for example. I mean, there's so much you can do right now to gain a really strong audience that, like, it's insane. Like, if you have a modern day MacBook, okay, that's at least been made in the last 5 years, it has a good camera, and you can pay for subscription software to, like, Restream IO is what I use to do live streaming, make podcast episodes and stuff like that. Like, if you can do that, like, dude, you can literally do anything. Like, anything that you think of, like, is literally content. Prime example, right? I'm very open on the fact that I came home to New Jersey. So, you know, talking about the fears of maybe taking a couple steps backwards and reassessing and having more of a slow year is something that, I should talk more about, right? And the season in which had to slow down so it could prune me for this moment. And it was a very rough and hard season, but also one that was incredibly fruitful in the sense that, like, I've grown a lot in 11 months as far as, like, my own personal development story and the way I think I view things now, probably within a year of being home, is so much different. And I think a lot of times, like, if you can take stories like that, that's going to build your audience. Like, just the raw, real, authentic version of yourself is going to build strong audiences. And unfortunately, yes, I'm well aware that people want to use your story to hurt you and use it against you, which those people absolutely fucking suck. I would not associate yourselves with those kinds of people. But also at the same time, you have no idea who's gonna need to hear your story so they feel like they're not alone. Whatever season of life you are going through, whatever challenges you are currently facing, those are the real things that people want to know, man. Like, they just want to know whether or not, like, they can legitimately trust you. And, like, that's my whole MO right now. Is like, if you want to establish an audience, like, learn how to build trust first. Where does trust come from? Your ability to be fucking relatable. And, like, that's the real thing, like, I want to preach on, is like, be relatable in the sense that, like, you're so open and honest of being able to talk about what has literally either challenged you and broken you, or being able to, like, come out of a really friggin' hard phase like the way I did and be like, this is exactly what I've been through and this is what I've learned from it. And I hope to God, like, someone looks at my story and is like, yo, if she did it, I can do it too, right? And I think the more that we try to, like, enclose opportunities or enclose our experiences and hide our experiences, the more shame we bring on ourselves anyway. It's like covert guilt and shame is like the root of, like, taking away your freaking happiness. Because everybody is like saying, like, oh, don't share your dirty laundry. I was like, dude, I'm like, it's not dirty laundry if you don't let your past define you. It's like a perspective shift in, like, your brain. The minute you realize, like, your past doesn't define you, it's like, oh, okay, like, this person literally tried to use my past against me, but they really can't anymore because there's not a damn thing that I don't know about myself that I don't know. They can't use your past against you once you already accepted that it's in your past. That's another whole live stream that I've, like, literally learned. That's another live stream for a completely separate day. But building an audience for me has probably been the most experimental but fun chance for me, because it's like I can see in real time what people respond to, what they don't. And honestly, this morning I was going through, like, my last 90 days of content performance on LinkedIn, and impressions are up 200 and almost 250%, which is fucking crazy. And then, you have my engagement is up like 120% as well. As, like, fucking nuts, because instead of trying to hide who I was and my past, I said, fuck it. Let's put it on the internet. Let's see actually what happens. And a part of it is like, I think I discussed this in a previous podcast actually, that it's like, you just have to be willing enough to put your thoughts out there. Like you just, there's a mental hurdle that it comes to a point, it's like, do you actually give a shit like whether or not these people are going to judge you? Because the minute you realize that, it's like, what are you going to do? Come judge me? Bitch, try, like, the line is long from here to China, ladies and gentlemen. Pick a fucking number and go stand in line with all my other haters. You know what I mean? Like, dude, once you have that mentality, just the content flows from you. And write about your experiences, write about the fact that you've been through really hard shit, or what the biggest takeaway from this season of life that you're currently going through. And it's like, for me as a content writer, there's nothing more that makes me happy when I see people put great stuff out there. It's like, okay, people are catching on. People see the demand for this, people see the need for this, people want to, they want to make themselves better, and like that's a very fruitful um season to be a part of. And I think when we are seeing such a shift in the tide when it comes to so many people writing their own stuff, and it's like people are like, how do I make better content with AI? It's like, no one fucking wants you to do that anymore. People want to know whether or not they can trust you, and how you build your audience. And like, dude, like, it comes from the fact that you're just the person that you are, and you accept yourself for who you are, and people understand that, and they see that. And every time you talk, or every time you write something, they understand that, you know what, you're not getting a perfect version of me, because we'll never be perfect, none of us are, right? But also at the same time, I'm perfectly imperfect. There are things I'm going to say that are completely 100% factually accurate, and there are going to be things that I don't hit the mark on, right? I'm a human being. We're all here to learn. We're all here to grow. And those are the defining moments of human characteristics and human brilliance. And it's like, we are in such a time that it's like, it's so refreshing to see like people still have like a level of balls that I thought was so far gone for a lot of people. It's like slowly. It's not like exponential, I'd say, but we are slowly seeing people just come back to like being themselves. It's like this psyop game, like no one knows who they are. Everyone's questioning what the next move is, what they should do, what they should not do, and all this other shit. It's like, bro, if you stop second questioning yourself, like just like and be and write like what you actually want to write, trust me, like people fall in love with that shit. Like, I don't expect anybody to give me a like. It's cool when people support the content. I think it's awesome, and I'm a big fan of supporting others. That's why, I write so many comments, and I like so much stuff, especially with like different people's insights. But people love the fact that when they see content that's just speaking and hitting people the right way, like, people are more likely to spread it, repost it, share it to their friends and their family, and like be like, yo, this is like my major takeaway from this, what this person wrote. And that happens when you start really trusting yourselves. It starts by being able to listen to that little voice within you and be like, yo, like, you should write about this. You should write about your experiences. You should write about this experience that you had with a previous client. What was your breakthrough moment? Right? What was your breakthrough moment on when you should have been an entrepreneur? Why did you leave corporate? Why did you make a sudden career shift at 45 years old? Like, whatever it is, bro. People want to know. Because at the end of the day, it makes people feel like they're not as alone, is what it is. People right now, I feel, are the most isolated people that like has like legitimately ever walked the face of the human planet. And people just want to understand, like, they want to see like they're not alone, man. They're not alone in their experiences. They're not alone to feel like this. They're not, there shouldn't be any shame to feel like this. Like, that's what people really want to see and to feel. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with feeling like that. or bringing that insight up, because you know what? You're going to do so much good for the world that people are going to look at you and they're going to be like, this person actually, because of one post or a couple of them, changed my entire perspective on the one thing that I had so much fear and doubt in. And I'm telling you right now, that day will fucking come, because that day came for me. That day came for me, that I decided to put myself out there. And people were like, fuck. She's just herself, man. I think when you go through really hard times and challenges in your own life, you just get to a point where you're just like, you throw your hands up and you're like, fuck it, let's see what happens. You stop letting people tell you, oh, that's not professional. Fuck professional, okay? Fuck professional. That shit is far gone, guys. Professionalism is literally cancer on American society. Humor me for 5 seconds. You think it's professional for you to go sleep with your secretary, but you're going to tell me what's professional about using the F-bomb? Or how about the time that you screwed your business partner out of, like, I don't know, fucking $500,000? Yeah, that's real professional. Like, stop letting ogre fucking tell you what's professional and what's not. Okay. How about this? For a lot of employers out there, it's unprofessional to make your fucking employees stay late past when they're supposed to without paying them. It's actually illegal. It's not culture or hustle culture or working harder. It's fucking illegal. It's illegal. And no wonder why you're not fucking respected, okay? No wonder why you have employees walking out your door. Shit, if I was them, I'd leave too. Are you kidding me? No one likes somebody that they feel like they can't relate to. They just want to know whether or not they can go have a laugh with you. Just have a laugh. Like, it is like almost 90 degrees out. And it's like I'm sitting on my porch just talking. But people want to feel like they can connect with you. Right? And I think that's why, like, even with live streaming, I think it's like one of the best things I've ever fucking created. Because, like, you could see someone in real time actually think on the spot. Nothing prepared. But only to the fact that I said, you know what? Let's talk about how to build an audience. Let's talk about how I did it. And how I did it was I trust my fucking gut. I didn't let people cloud my judgment. They tried. They almost succeeded too, by the way. But I said, nah, this time around, it's my time, bitch. I'm gonna do me, and so far, so good. People love the authenticity. They love the brutal honesty. I just said I don't want to keep sacrificing who I am for everybody else to be comfortable. Because I did that for not just in business, but for so many years in my personal life. Like, I lessened my own gifts, my own talent to make everyone else feel comfortable around me. And I refuse to do that anymore. I refuse to be the same person I was when I was younger. Because I look back on the younger version of me, and I see that young girl, and I'm like, shit, she's dying on the inside, man. She's really dying on the inside. She's dying to be heard and to be seen, but she's too afraid. And I don't want anybody to ever go through what I went through in my young life. And if you're young listening to this, don't be like me. Don't be like I was. Voice your opinions. Stand out. Okay? Because when you do stick out like a sore thumb, it is the best way to get noticed by people at the top. I have had so many wonderful interactions with people that are at the top and successful and this and that, and it's just like, it's probably because of the fact that I said I'm not going to lessen myself for anybody anymore, because this shit sucks. This shit sucks. I don't want to keep dying every fucking day on the inside for another person to tell me I'm unqualified. No. Not anymore, dude. And I think, like, the more we have content out there that just shows who you are, the more you're going to build trust faster. The faster you're going to get clients, the faster that people at the top are going to notice you. The people that you really, really want to see you, they're going to fucking see you this time around. Just be you. Because there is enough fucking fake people out here, man. And it's like exhausting to talk to people half the time. Because there's nothing real coming out of a lot of people's mouths anymore. Like, can you like hear me? Like, do you think I want to consistently keep talking to the version that you want to put on for a corporate empire? No, I don't. I don't want to keep talking to the same person anymore, because at the end of the day, I actually just want the person whether or not I can trust you. Like, we all, like, that's why I think, like, even like storytelling too, like, is so important to build an audience, because if you can share your stories with people, like, they relate. They relate. And that's why, like, if you go look around, like, storytelling is like the biggest thing in marketing, because it's how you relate. It's the human connection that shifts your audience's perspective on a lot of things. And I think, like, when it comes to people talking, and when it comes to people being vulnerable and seen and have a lot of purpose, people act differently when you can tell stories better. When I used to work at Saks, and this is just a quick anecdotal story. When I used to work at Saks, actually, I figured out fragrances are not sold by the fact that all the notes, they're sold by how they make people feel, what memories are attached to them. And that's the long before I had a career in marketing. That's what I learned. And I could tell you what fragrances I've worn on a first date before I could tell you, you know, how it made me feel when I had to go in for a big presentation, whatever it is. And I wore this specific fragrance and it made me feel like this. Like, that's what people want. Like, that collectively unites all of us together and gives us such fulfillment, purpose, in being able to share our stories and make content that actually matters. Because in reality, we just want to know that we're not the only ones that feel this way. So when you start building your authenticity, when you start building your brand and you start building out your audience, always keep that in mind, that most people are so afraid of sharing what they actually feel, that this is now your time to do it. Go against the grain. It's going to work for the rest of 2026. Be yourselves. Be yourselves. And if that threatens the other person on the other screen, they need to go to therapy. Okay? They need to go to therapy, because they need to go ask themselves why the fuck they're feeling some type of way. Not you. Do you? And for all the fucking naysayers out here, I want to make myself incredibly crystal fucking clear. For all the naysayers out there being like, LinkedIn is getting a little too casual. LinkedIn's getting a little bit too more anecdotal and casual and less serious. Hey, guess what? Human beings are fucking imperfect. And guess what, too? Corporate didn't do a lot of wonders for American society, because a lot of people walk around being like, I wish I could fucking say that, but I can't. I'm like one of the very only few young people I know that isn't fucking hardened by corporate culture, because I've never stepped foot in a fucking corporate office. I didn't have to. It wasn't my path. It wasn't my journey. Whatever whatever journey God has for me at this stage of my life, it wasn't my path. Okay? So stop telling people that they shouldn't post their fucking stories. Like what gives you the right to fucking tell somebody that it's their brand? Why do you care? Also, on top of that, like, why do you care so much what other people do? Like, you need to fucking stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane and be and do and trust me, like if people understood that, trust me, a lot of people would be a hell of a lot more successful than they are now. And they just learn how to mind their own fucking business. I'm just saying, guys, like you all know that, right? If you learn how to stay in your lane, you would be more successful. Just say. Because a lot of people, they don't know how to, and that's why they're not making the kind of money that they want to make. They're not doing this what they want to do. They're not doing this what they want to do. They're not on stages where they want to be, and blah 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 blah, and da 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 da, and doing all the things. They're not where they want to be because they don't know how to stay in their fucking lanes and keep their mouths closed. It's like science. It's like making a hypothesis, right? Like you're in school, right? They're teaching about the I forget what it's fucking called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, you raise a question, you experiment, and then you get a result, right? You try, you experiment, you put it to the test, and if it doesn't work out, whatever. Now you learn one way to how not to do it again. Hopefully. Because I know some people are still making the exact same mistakes out there. Again and again and again. Whatever. Not the point. But I hope this is extremely helpful. How to build an audience the right way. Just be yourselves and put things out that matter to you. And be human. Be human with it and trust your intuition. And by the way, AI cannot write your fucking opinion, man, because it's a soulless thing. Okay. And also at the same time, like, I am tired of fucking seeing people be like, I think AI is going to be the future of writing. It's not the future of writing because a lot of people are fucking tired of it already. A lot of people are being like, oh, this is not what I signed up for. I don't want to see all the emojis and the dashes and slop and this and that. Like, guys, like everybody I know is absolutely tired of it. And that's why, like, even with me, like, I'm not worried. Like, I know it's about to get crazy busy for me. Because I've said this too. Like, if you know how to write and you're a writer and you're listening to this, please listen to me very carefully. Is if you are writing for people and you cannot write naturally without AI, you're fucking screwed. You're fucking screwed. The talent has to be there. You have to have talent for this. You have to be a very good, articulate person and detailed to be able to write well. And that's what's going to win right now. But if you only know how to use AI, you're screwed. Then you need to go back to the drawing board and you really need to work on it and hone in on your craft. Because this portion of this time in the world that we're going through is no joke. People are fed up and tired of people giving out bad content, and people are just, they want the realness. So if anybody's still writing your own stuff, that's my advice. How to build an audience, how to build better content is just be yourself, and the right people will always follow you. And also at the same time, stop worrying about how many followers you have. Always focus on what is the quality of your followers, because you can have a big audience, but you can have a lot of shitty people following you, by the way. What kind of audience do you guys want to build? Do you want to build a strong audience with a bunch of purpose-filled great people, or do you want to build a fucking massive audience with a lot of shitty people? Ask yourselves that today. Because that's going to define your entire future of your business 5 to 10 years from now. I have a small audience, but I have good people following me. And I'm okay with that. Because I know it won't be small forever. But the foundation is important. Always remember that the foundation is everything in business. Everything to content, to business, to strategy, everything, guys. It is everything. Your foundation is everything. What you build on is everything. Do not let society tell you that you have to have this and that and da 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 da. Like, guys, like, I have seen so many successful people try to build their audiences off of bullshit, and that it just one day comes crashing down. It may not be today, and it may not be tomorrow, and it may not be even 4 years from now, 3 years from now. But I'm telling you, one time or another, it will come crashing down, because what goes up must come down, and what goes down must go up. So, build audiences that resonate with you, your product, your business, and most of all, build audiences that you would be proud of in 5 years from now.